Did you hear the other week? And I think it was the Don Callis came out. It was probably out for the oh God, uh, it was the Swerve Strickland match. That's what it was. Swerve against Takeshita. How about Takeshita? Is he not a performer or what? Oh God,
Unbelievable.
jeez, what a performer! And of course, I hate to say this, but because they'll say, "Oh, he's overhyping it." Will Ospreay may be the best performer I've ever seen in my life, and that's I've seen a lot of great performers. I haven't seen enough of him yet to be able to call it him definitely that, but he may be. And I'll talk about it in a moment because right now, if you're watching along with us, you're seeing one of the great performers, actually two of the great performers ever ahead of their time, Rey Mysterio and Juventud.
Yeah, and they're showing you clips from one of their prior meetings, and we're about to see a rematch, 2 out of 3 falls. Man, just think about how revolutionary Rey Mysterio was for professional wrestling. You're seeing Rey before he's in WCW here.
Right.
You're also going to see a young Chris Jericho on the next episode we're going to watch right after this one before
Mm,
he goes to WCW.
right. So this was like 96, 97,
Yes,
97, I guess.
March of '96, just before
Yeah.
Jericho went, just before Ray went, Juventud went,
Right.
Cactus went. I mean, and of course, like guys like Shane Douglas, he's fresh off of the Dean Douglas run, which was just abysmal in the WWF. But at this point, we had seen Shane in the WWF twice, and of course, he's even had a stint with WCW, part of the Dynamic Dudes, and then that pretty impressive run with Ricky Steamboat.
All right. So let me, as we're watching this, let me go back to the Taz story
Yes.
because I don't know why I said this, but if you watch Takeshita against Swerve Strickland, we had Don Callis with us, and I always loved Don Callis being with us because I consider Don one of my good friends in wrestling. And isn't it weird that when we first started this, I didn't even know Don Callis. I called him Don
Yes.
Calais.
Yes.
I didn't even know Chris Hero. And now I consider Chris Hero and Don Callis two of my good friends in wrestling. Anyway, so Don is beside me, and I love when Don because it just gets me in one of those silly moods. Uh, and there was a kind of a crazy pin, and I said, "Well, that pin really something to the fact of that he didn't really get him good, and that's why he kicked out." And Taz said, "Well, Schiavone, actually, the pin was pretty good." And he was talking about it. And I went, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, Taz, we got it." I don't know why I said that. Yeah, 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 Taz, we got it. And buddy, that lit a fire to his ass.
I love it.
He goes, "You need to go back and listen to it." He said, "Schiavone, tell me how many wrestling matches you've had in your life." And I was thinking as he said that, oh shit, I really got him pissed off because we go back and forth. Uh, but that was a lot of fun that night. That was that night. I think that we laughed so hard during the commercial break that one of the fans said, "Hey, Shivani, you and Taz need to get serious out here." I'm thinking, "Fuck you, dude. We're having a great time during the commercial break." But I really got him pissed off that time. So go back and listen to that. It's worth a listen.
How did the fan in the crowd know what y'all were saying?
That they saw us laughing
Oh, I got you.
during the commercial break because we were just laughing like hell about something. Um, but I mean, we're right there now. We're right at the
Well,
broadcast position.
well, Utaz and Excalibur were all recently featured on Botchamania. Did you know
Oh,
that?
really? No, really. What did we do?
Well, you guys are on there all the time, but most
Uh-huh.
recently, uh, I forget exactly what it was, but somebody said something that made the other person laugh, that made the other person laugh,
Uh-huh.
and then you guys could not contain your laughter, but you threw it to a backstage interview, and they didn't turn your mics off just yet, and you could
Okay.
hear all three of you holding it in, and then once you thought you were clear, you started laughing, but it still came through,
Oh,
and
God.
it was fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? We have fun. God, we have fun.
By the way, a little
I
pro tip: if you want to be a part of that fun, go ahead and sign up with Fight, or I guess it's called Triller TV now. That's the way
Right.
the rest of the world can watch these live dynamites before it airs in their part of the world. They can actually see it there. But what's cool about that is it means when here in America the feed goes to a commercial, it does not go to a commercial on Triller TV. And the result is you guys talk about things that you would never normally talk about on the regular broadcast, and it's hilarious.
I heard one person say to me that, and this was not a person who was in charge. One person said, that's the time where you should sell international, and they're right. But we get away with a lot of stuff because just Tony lets us get away with a lot of stuff. And a lot of times Tony, is during those commercial breaks is working on timing the next segment or whatever. Um, but we would never say stuff like that on normally on the
On
real feed
TV. Yeah.
on TV. But yeah, we get away with a lot of crazy stuff. We have a lot of fun. Um,
Going to be having
and
fun as you're listening to this tonight. Worcester, Massachusetts. Tickets on sale at
Worcester.
AEWTIX.com. Young Bucks going to be taking on Best Friends. The finals will, or to go to the finals of the tag team tournament. And we also got Powerhouse Hobbs and Will Ospreay in a battle of the wills. We mentioned that contract signing. We mentioned Jericho calling out Hook. Daddy Ass taking on Jay White. Probably going to be some story there if I had to guess. And Thunder Rosa back in action against one of your favorites, Mrs. May.
Yeah.
Man, this is it's going to be a fun show, and it's happening tonight on AEW. But if you're in the area, if you're in Boston or you're in Worcester, go see them. AEWTIX.com.
Worcester. That's Worcester. We talked about that the other night. Apparently, Bobby Cruz, another great guy, told me after the show. He said someone said online for Ian to tell you, explain to you how to pronounce Worcester. I said, "Did I say it right?" He said, "It's Worcester." I said, "I thought that's what I said." He said, "No, you didn't say it that way." So when I did my control center, which I did this morning, the leads this morning, and you're going to see it drop tomorrow. I put in the teleprompter copy WUSSTER. So I would say it right. It's Worcester. So Bobby told me how to say it right. We're seeing yet another match from
Yeah, so we saw a
match.
recap of their previous match, and now this is the actual 2 out of 3 falls match. And
Gotcha.
sometimes you and I like to watch old bad wrestling and make fun of it. This is not it. These are
No,
2 very young guys absolutely tearing it up. Do you want to just take a guess how old Rey Mysterio is right here?
20 years old, 21.
Isn't that wild that this guy is that good, that young?
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with him. He's 21. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing that he's this good this early.
Yeah. Yeah, he was obviously ahead of his time.
Yes.
And the moves here on the outside, if you're watching along with us, are so dangerous for many reasons because there's no padding on the floor. Also, because the safety rail is almost right up against the ring.
Yes.
So if you do a move like that, you're definitely going to hit the safety rail.
No way around it.
Right.
By the way, not to be overshadowed by Rey Mysterio, Juventud also
Yeah.
21 years old.
He's a very, very handsome man when you take that mask off. Both of them were very handsome men.
The Juice